Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 815 of Geeks in Space. I'm Rob, Commander Taco Malda, and once again, joining me in pretend low Earth orbit, we have Chris DeBona.
Hello.
And Rob Roseboom.
Hello.
Gentlemen, welcome back. How was everybody's Thanksgiving?
Actually, it was very nice.
Yeah, I mean, I washed a lot of dishes.
Yeah.
I washed on Thanksgiving and the day after 10 rounds in the dishwasher.
Oof.
And then
Too many rounds.
Lots of handwork. And then we hosted a neighbor's wedding reception. It was small, in our house.
38 people.
22.
That's a lot for a house.
It's a lot for a house. And so, but we didn't cook for that, but we did provide some plates, that kind of thing. So cleaned up after that. That was nice. That was super, actually.
I still have
But it was exhausting.
I still have maybe one day of leftovers. I think after we're done here, I got to go get some broth, and I'm going to make some turkey soup. My turkey turned out great this year. My stuffing turned out B-. I was a little bummed.
Yeah,
Stuffing is more important to me than turkey.
Yeah, clearly.
It's the most important part of Thanksgiving. Although, you know what we did this year, which I felt really lazy about? We went to Grand Traverse Pie Company, and we forgot to reserve pies or anywhere or anything, and neither of us felt like making pies. So we go there, and they sell little pies, like, I don't know, like half the size of pies. And so instead of getting like a couple of big full-size pies, we got little pies, and they were delicious. And because they were little, we got 3 different pies. So I got to have 3 different flavors of pie. It was great. I'm a strong believer that pie is greater than cake. So really, Thanksgiving is a highlight. But pumpkin pie is for the devil. That is not acceptable.
I think we can all clearly agree that pie beats cake. Can we not?
I think I'm on board for that.
All right. Well, then let's have our listeners ask in the comments, what's better, cake or pie? Dessert off.
Wow, this is gonna juice the algorithm.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get super pumped. Yeah. All right, we've got. Did we talked about the SpaceX launch already, right? That was 2 weeks ago. We have.
Yeah, we talked about the Starship launch show.
Yeah. Well, the 7-day-old story that we have is that Filoni is getting the big job at Lucasfilm.
But he's still reporting to Kathleen Kennedy and those folks. And also, was Ashoka really? Did that make you feel good about the direction of Star Wars there?
I liked Ahsoka better than Obi-Wan.
Well, yeah, sure. I guess.
I don't know.
I skipped both of them. I'm like, I'm out.
Ahsoka was too heavy, dependent on Rebels.
Too lore heavy, yeah. Well, Filoni likes the magic of Star Wars, and I like the action of Star Wars. And Andor likes the politics of Star Wars. And those are like the 3 prongs, I think.
Who was in charge of Andor?
The dude that did the Bourne movies.
Okay.
But and Andor was the best of the lot, but
Andor was really fun, I thought. But again, Andor isn't necessarily about Star Wars.
No.
It's just a really good sort of spy movie,
right? That
just so happens to be in this universe.
Totally. I mean, not a lightsaber in the damn thing. It was great.
Right. Yeah.
But I like lightsabers, but I want lightsabers generally to be used more like a samurai uses them. I don't care about the mythology, and I don't need 6 episodes about collecting the magical kyber crystals and all that. Filoni loves the mythology, and I'm not super into that. But you know what? He seems to Obi-Wan, and even the last season of Mando and the the Boba Fett show. Those aren't great. They're fine. Well, I think Obi-Wan was fine. And I think Ahsoka was fine. I wanted great. And Andor is the only one that I think was great. But let's see. SpaceX, they're rumored now to be having an IPO at a $150 billion valuation, which I guess is nice for Elno, because that he lost like tens of billions of value from Twitter. So I guess he can make up for it
I
by
think
borrowing SpaceX.
I think the last was 40 billion was the number I heard tossed around for
Hmm.
Twitter.
I think he bought it at 44,
Yeah, but
and
it's
now they're
worth
saying
like
it's worth
maybe
22 or
17 or
18.
less.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Yeah, it's a garbage company. Who cares?
Well, that's the thing
I
though.
just took my garbage to the street and there was a Twitter in it.
Oh, I load Twitter now like twice a week. Like I don't even care. It's funny how it takes a lot to break those habits, but turns out, but I like Mastodon. I followed about half of the people that I like from Twitter, and it's doing fine for me. Which one of you guys shared the Canadian Super Pigs?
Not me.
I think it was me. I love the idea of Canadian super pigs invading America. It's just like you've sent us your, I don't know, nonsense.
They already gave us Ryan Reynolds. Haven't they given us enough?
Have they done enough to America? and Shatner,
Oh, yeah, the Shat.
I'm trying to think of who else is Canadian. There's got to be another one,
Like
right?
half of Saturday Night Live.
Oh, Celine Dion.
Oh,
yeah. Norm Macdonald, rest his soul.
Rest in peace. Yeah.
Yep.
He was the first Canadian super pig.
The first Norm Macdonald was the first Canadian super pig. It's on his tombstone.
Yeah, widely recognized.
Yep,
widely recognized.
Famously super pig.
It's actually, he's also the reason why we had all those tariffs and shit.
Oh,
so
sure. Yeah, I didn't read the story, but this story kind of comes around.
It's the same thing, right? The wild pigs thing.
Right. So I don't know what makes them super pigs other than they're probably escaped domestic pigs that have gone feral.
Well, they should probably treat them the same way as they treat Pablo Escobar's hippos.
And his son. Okay, let's go on to the next story.
Dude, you're murdering.
No,
they sterilized his son?
No, they recently had a. Let me find it. Escobar kid, who I met once. News.
Well, we've got Chris. This is another one that you shared us. This is the Netflix series that you'll never see, and I didn't catch.
No, I guess he's okay.
This was a New York Times article, so I couldn't read it.
I thought he was arrested. I thought one of them was arrested. I guess not. I take it all back.
Oh.
Only peace for Escobar's children. You were saying? Sorry.
I didn't get to read the New York Times story about the $55 million Netflix series you'll never see, but I read a comment thread on it on Reddit, so I kind of know what's going on.
So that's like reading it,
It's kind of the same. I let strangers distill the essence of the story for me and then tell me what I think about it.
So you might recognize John Carreyrou as the one who broke the Theranos story. And really took a lot of heat from them until everyone's like, oh no, he's totally right.
He's right.
Yeah,
for sure.
But yeah, this is basically like, so during the sort of crazy Netflix funding everything and people fighting over streaming rights for various things, this guy shows up and he had done 47 Ronin, which I had never seen. It was a Keanu Reeves movie.
Yeah, I saw it.
And he pitched like this new science fiction series about fake humans and stuff, and so they ended up sort of a bidding war popped up between various people for it, and Netflix won. I'm using air quotes. Won the deal and actually gave him final cut on everything. So over the next, I don't know, 3-4 years, they would transfer over 55 million of their commitment, and he basically delivered nothing, went kind of crazy, decided that COVID was a secret message from the center of the earth, sort of the Monarch Hollow Earth theory. And he bought like 5 Rolls Royces and some supercars, and then as part of it, he moved some money into his production company, then bought a ton of Ethereum, and then made a ton of money from that.
Oh no!
Which he then blew on a bunch of other stuff, and it's like reading this is just like, wow, this guy he went all in. on the crazy, and he did try to film, largely in lower cost markets in like his wife's country of Ecuador. She would
Okay.
become his ex-wife.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And like, yeah. Yeah, it's really something. So
It's nice to
it's
know
it's just
that
it's
just
just a great like just all the crazy is still
good
there,
old fashioned fraud.
Well, and it's not even like that. It's more that like, wow, here's a guy. He's like, yeah, I mean, you gave me Final Cut.
If you give me Final Cut, it can be 3.5 minutes long. It can just be me playing with one of those ribbons on a stick.
Yeah, I mean, it really could be. And like, it's funny because near the end of their relationship, Netflix is basically like, yo, we're out. If you find someone else who wants to buy this garbage, they have to pay us first. But yeah, it's all you, bud.
Just
So-
reading through the production stuff, someone got hypothermia in this,
Yeah,
and he made them shoot for 24 hours straight.
in the water,
Wow.
in the cold. Like, yeah, it's like,
You think
wow.
you're James Cameron? You don't get to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they paid 55 million of the 61 million, and he's suing them for another 14 million because they have to finish their deal.
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They promised him Final Cut.
Yeah.
It's not done yet.
So yeah.
So the next one that I had on the list is the autonomous excavator, which just we don't have to like do anything with this, but you should just watch this because it's neat.
Do they have a video in this one?
They have a
I didn't see
video. It
Oh.
scans rocks
Yeah,
and then
they figures out
uses
how to stack
AI
'em.
to place the rock like in an organic way. It's not like bricks,
Ooh,
it's just like
that's awesome.
rando rocks. Throw it up on the screen if you got a picture.
I'm working on it.
Well, work harder. We're not paying you to not do it.
That's true. You're not.
Yeah.
There you go. Here's the video. It's like a watch party.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like a
that's
watch
nice.
party. We can SS Sniper Wolf this and
Oh, wait, then I have to put on my reaction face.
It's a crane. Look at the crane.
I've never actually seen one of her videos.
I only know her from watching the videos where they
controversy.
talk about how horrible she is. But check
Yeah,
that
I
out.
mean,
I mean, it's really neat.
That's really neat.
Like that's the sort of thing that I want AI to do. I don't want the AI to, be in charge of my art, but I do like the idea of it moving heavy boulders in an aesthetically pleasing
treadmills.
structural way. Yeah, or treadmills.
Or treadmill.
yeah.
I mean, right now I've just been using 18th century children labor to build my farm walls, but now
Yeah.
I can have a backhoe do it.
Right? But with AI.
That hoe over there.
That hoe over there. Yep. Oh yes. Anyway, just like take 2 minutes when we're not on the stream, and it's 1:19. Watch the thing; it's neat.
That's really cool.
So the
Good
next
story find there, Rob.
The next one is that Star Watchers can spot a lost NASA tool bag with binoculars. This one's
really
neat. Apparently, a few weeks ago, during an EVA on the space station, an astronaut dropped a bag, and I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but when you drop something in the space station, it's hard to get it back.
Why did they have binoculars up there?
No, you can see it with binoculars.
Oh, I got you.
From this planet.
Yeah,
so
I got it now.
because it's white, it's highly reflective, and
from your other planets.
The article says that its brightness is just below that of Uranus. So you can, like, binoculars or telescope is enough to see it, and it apparently is just a little bit ahead of the space station. So if you can track the space station, you just got to look a few millimeters over from it, and you can see it from the ground, which is just neat.
Yeah, they have a video of it being dropped, but it's on Shitter.
It's on Blumper.
No, it's on
Jitter.
See, oopsie doodle.
Oops.
Damn it.
Oh, that's never coming back.
Yeah.
Come on, Ted.
Jeez, Gary.
Yeah, Gary.
That guy.
Fucking Gary again.
We invented Velcro. NASA invented Velcro for this problem.
No, and also, so if you return to the video, so what happened was he was probably going through the process of attaching it via the little carabiner thing they have, which is actually really neat. I don't know if you've ever seen them. They're super, but like, Yeah, it looks like he just had a whoopsie doodle.
Oopsie doodle.
He tried to catch it. And this is the thing, as an astronaut, you're
That's
trained
dangerous.
to not try to catch things.
Yeah.
Like, there's no like, oh, I'll get it.
Right.
That's not a space thing.
No, that's a Sandra Bullock space thing. If you're
Well, I mean, that's not how she survived in gravity. It was just she wasn't in the wrong place at the wrong time. And she had hallucinatory George Clooney to
Yeah,
help.
I thought
Spoiler.
that she's hallucinating.
There's so many things about that movie.
The key to her
Such a
survival
good movie,
was
though,
on
dude.
mushrooms.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it is. So next time you go to space, make sure you take a lot of mushrooms.
Yep. And Velcro gloves. The next one is local to Rob and I. And we definitely aren't going to watch the 12-year-old stealing a forklift because the video is an hour long because the 12-year-old stole a forklift, which was left unlocked with the keys in the cab. He stole it and then went on a police chase for an hour. He hit a bunch of cars. And I guess no injury. But a lot of damage. But if you want to watch,
I'm attorney Mark Bernstein.
If you want to watch a 1 hour long forklift chase through the streets of Ann Arbor,
I'll say though,
I do actually.
For the most part, he drives very well.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I mean, that forklift has no lights on it whatsoever. So.
Right. And both of my kids are older than 12, and I can't imagine either of them being able to drive a forklift.
The thing that disappointed me the most was he never tried to use the forklift. Seems like he would try to pick stuff up and toss it behind him to slow down the cops, or at least move stuff around.
Yeah,
he just drove it around.
What it probably is he probably doesn't know how to work the forklift. He probably knows how to drive, but not
he had an hour to figure things out.
That's like a World War II forklift. You see a lot of those, in the excess market. So that's really cool.
Well, it's actually like one of those pallet lifters.
Oh, okay. More of a telehandler than a fork.
Oh man, take the.
He jumps a lot of curbs. He takes a lot of sharp.
Oh, and takes out some signs
looks
too.
Out some stop signs down.
It's a few cars. Here he is going downtown.
Oh, that's like near Bates's old house there. Oh, he hit a car.
He drove it through a good portion of downtown.
Yeah.
And I think he made it almost to Plymouth.
Yep.
So he made it quite a ways.
Almost to like what Nate lived in Plymouth for a while.
Yeah.
Boy, he's really out there. Look at that. Gosh.
Yeah. But it's an hour long. But hey, it's local to us.
This is just the greatest hits, this part.
Right.
I like how the cops are like, well, we're going to stop this 12-year-old. Actually, they're going to something else. They have other things to do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust that the kid would know how to stop. So, I don't know that, a lot of the time when they do that, they, knock them off the road. But I don't think I'd want to do that with a forklift. Those things are heavy.
Well, I mean, it's hard to pit maneuver a forklift.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, I was wondering why they didn't put on stop sticks, but I don't know. I assume those tires are air, but they might be all rubber.
They might just be solid.
Yeah. I don't know.
Good.
But anyway, the thing only goes 20.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but it feels really fast when you're in a forklift.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Say it's not like 20 in a Civic.
And he ended up losing the window, at least on his door during the chase as well.
It was pretty cold on Saturday.
Really cold.
Where did he steal it from?
I think it was
just
at
outside.
Yeah,
it was outside a school that was under construction.
In some ways, isn't that how the new Star Trek started, with him stealing his uncle's car? I mean, this is the future Captain Kirk here.
Oh,
there you go.
I buy it. Let's give this kid command.
Yeah,
they're gonna give him. They give 1,000 shares of SpaceX once they start selling it and make him captain of the rocket ship.
That works.
Yeah, there was a SpaceX story about them. Is this just another round though? I mean, it's not like they're going public. Yeah, this is just another private round. So
you didn't say that when we talked about it 5 minutes ago. So Sports Illustrated.
Sorry, I was watching the forklift kid, man. He's compelling television.
So Sports Illustrated, this is a weird story. They were using AI to write articles, but also creating fake authors. And then when people caught them, they deleted it all. And apparently they've been doing this for a while. And Nobody exactly knows what's going on there, but it's shady.
What do you mean no one knows what they're going? They're just doing what everyone else is doing.
Well, they're just getting caught.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the future. And I guess for like I've always thought that for a lot of like sports recap, like the dude that writes the recap of the high school sporting event, like that's a great use of AI technology. Like you can take you could take a baseball box score and spit out a story. Like that's easy. That makes sense because then you can do it for anything.
Why do you hate small town sports reporters, Rob?
I think that's the real root of the problem here. Is that Rob hates small town sports reporters ever since the T-ball incident of 1997.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
who can forget? Never forget, you know.
I'm actually a little surprised you're bringing it up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry. You're right. You know, I don't want to like trigger your PTSD
from the T-ball incident. I see what you did there.
CPT.
Yeah. I get it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a
well. So here's the thing: we've had
story.
AI writers now for what 15 years.
A while.
That people were using them for financial reporting.
Yeah, for sports,
for you know
earnings reports. Yeah,
it's I hate to say it. It's like is it just because they dress it up with a fake-o photo that people are now noticing it?
Well, there's been a lot of stories like that. Well, there was a story recently about there's a conference where a guy like had invented a bunch of ladies to have speak at his conference and just like invented people. And then like when people were like, those aren't real people, then they disappeared from the speaker page.
That's really funny. Well, what's funny is during this whole OpenAI nonsense last weekend, one of the shit fights online was people saying, "Well, now there's no women on the board of OpenAI," and I'm like, "Well, maybe they should have just created a couple."
That's true.
Why not? The OpenAI representative from AI.
I don't understand why the board is not just the AI. It should just be GPT-4.
Yeah, right.
It knows what's best. It'll take care of us.
Sure.
Okay, Rando Media. I finally got around to watching The Creator.
Was it good?
It's really good. Yeah, you should, and you should set aside some time and put away your damn phone and just watch a classic old sci-fi.
Whoa,
epic
hold on. To put away my.
I know.
My phone.
One screen.
It's got Gemma Chan. She's cool.
How will Chris stay updated to the latest news then?
Well, he's not even on Jitter anymore.
Yeah, I'm not really hanging out there anymore.
No, it's good. It gets a little bit a little too much shooty in the last half hour or so, but it's just a good old fashioned. I mean, the premise. It's a a man versus AI kind of story.
My favorite kind of story.
It's timely. It was made apparently relatively inexpensively. It's like an $80 million movie, and it looks better than any movie you've seen in years.
Neat.
It's gorgeous looking, really cool production design, cool robots. Like it's clear that Gareth Edwards came up through ILM and Star Wars. Like he did Rogue One, and it's clear like the droids have like the like a lot of the same DNA as like a Star Wars droid. But the architecture, I mean, it's just really cool looking. I highly recommend it. It's not like a 5-star masterpiece or anything, but it's a 4.5 stars. It's great. Very worth watching. I also watched the first episode of the Monarch Godzilla show. Rob,
how was it?
Have you started it yet?
I have decided I'm gonna wait maybe until the very end and binge watch all of it at some point.
All right.
I've read that the reviews are really good for it, which surprised me.
I only watched the first episode, but they're doing the cliche thing where like they withhold a bunch of information from the audience to like tell you at the end, which I'm beginning to have less and less time for that. Like you know what it is. Like, I don't need the big reveal. Just tell me who the relationship is. Like, tell me who this person is related to. Because the show is set, at least so far, in the 50s, maybe the 70s, and then like 2015. It's like 3 different
Oh, okay.
timelines.
Oh, so it's not like 50s and 70s. You're just not sure.
No, well, I assume that Kurt Russell is in it and Wyatt Russell is in it, and I assume they're playing the same person, but
Yep, they are.
Wyatt Russell is in 1959. So in order for the age to work out, there has to be a storyline set in the 70s, and there's a lot of 70s looking tech that in the 80s or in the present day in the 2015 timeline they're using 70s and 80s era tech. So I assume that Kurt Russell's not in the first episode. So I assume that they're going to give us him in in a future episode, and that's going to be set, you know, in the 70s and 80s in order for the age gap between Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell to work out. But we haven't seen anything from there yet.
And they only have like 2 episodes out or something.
I think 3, but I only watched the 1.
Okay.
I also finished Doom Patrol, and it never really gets its mojo back, but you know, it's done now. And they end with a bit of a tearjerker, which I guess you would have expected. That show ultimately fails because half of the cast I love and half of the cast I am utterly indifferent towards. And like every time the 2 or 3 characters I don't care about are on screen, I just zone out. And that's hard for a show to survive.
I'm sorry, I had zone out. I guess I don't care about you guys.
That's fair. That's fair. I had a couple more things that I saw that were good. Let me get my list.
The Gilded Age, you know.
Have you seen, either of you guys got anything new to see?
Well, I was watching The Gilded Age. That's a lot of fun.
Is it fun?
It's a Julian Fellows thing. It's, you know, if you like that sort of costume period crap, it's awesome.
Costume period crap.
But it's good if you do.
I finished rewatching the Back to the Future trilogy with my kid, which was nice. I told you to watch Jules already, but neither of you have, even though you should.
I haven't watched it yet. Although, I guess with Plex telling people what they're watching or their friends are watching, you know, you'll know. You'll know.
Well, I love when you add a new movie to your Plex because I almost always watch them. You know, it's like, all right, cool. Here's something worth watching.
That's a really funny thing they're doing.
Yeah,
because I got that email and I'm like, that doesn't seem smart.
Nope.
You know?
Well, people are worried about because I was not aware of this, that people use Plex to manage their porn collection.
God, who does this?
Who collects porn in 2023? Like, the internet is there.
And then shares it. You know, it's the thing. You know, isn't that a very personal thing?
Yeah.
You know, you say, hey, I saw the best porn this weekend. You should really check it out. Like, we're talking about Jules.
Right.
You know,
usually your porn collection between you and some consenting neighbors, maybe a substitute teacher.
Yeah, or you know, like the person who will destroy your computer when you die, you know. Yeah.
Someone trapped, say, in a dryer.
I assume that if the owner
the pizza guy, the plumber,
yep.
You know,
the seemingly limitless number of stepsisters that everybody apparently has.
Boy, that's weird. God, that's so weird.
I'm like, wait a minute, that girl seems to have like 50 stepdads. I'm confused. Yep. That's a whole weird industry, man. But whoever has that data could destroy every politician, right? Like, that has to be.
It didn't destroy Ted Cruz.
Do you think that matters at all anymore? No one gives a shit.
Yeah, I mean, that they'll vote for people, you know. The only one who would be embarrassed by it would be like Mike Pence, and he probably doesn't even look at porn. He's so wound up, you know.
I guess I don't know.
He doesn't even look at porn. He's so wound up.
He won't even be in this. Isn't he the one that won't even be in a room alone with a woman that's not his wife?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how can you be like a boss and do that? I've had employees. I've had to be in rooms with women all the time alone.
And did you spontaneously take your pants
other
off?
jobs, Rob?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, because let's not throw stones here, Mr. Malda. You know,
there were not many ladies that worked on Slashdot. It's true.
Blockstacker's Intergalactic was kind of a dudes only thing.
Well, it was because it was all
Definitely
people that lived
Mars.
on our dorm. lived on the same floor of our dorm. All right, is there any movies coming out?
So
this
it's really the
weekend?
school's fault for not mixing the floors.
Yeah, it's Hope College.
Yeah, it was a Christian school. It was a whole thing. Let's see. No, is there any media worth coming out? Oppenheimer is out on streaming now. If you guys haven't seen that yet.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Huh. Or out on media. I don't know what mechanism. I just know
I
that
think it's on
digital now.
Max actually. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am so behind on everything. I don't have time to watch.
Yeah.
anything
Well, I mean, you know,
you've been busy.
you gotta heal, man. You gotta heal.
That's right. All right. Well, that's my list. Is it time to say goodbye to the internet?
I think it is.
All right. Goodbye, Rob Roseman.
Goodbye.
And goodbye, Chris DeBona.
See you.
That was episode 815 of Geeks in Space. I was Rob Commander Taco, and I probably will be next week too. Bye.